Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to CSC 103. This is for the W1 and W2 sections. Figured I'd record one video because I'll screw up too many times to do more than one video. I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce myself in person. Since we'll be online, you'll be hearing my voice all the time. But I'll be setting up a YouTube playlist for both sections of the course so I don't have to repeat everything. And you'll be able to do most of the work, if not everything, in a browser with web-based applications. I don't think you'll have to install anything, but we'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. So you don't have to purchase anything, and so far you shouldn't have to install anything. As far as the Cengage text, we're going to use that as a textbook, but we're not going to use the MindTap module. We'll kind of limit confusion and complexity in the beginning and just use that as our textbook, and I'll prepare and record all the activities that we're going to need for the course. So like I said, we'll have a YouTube playlist for that for both online courses. It'll cover the lectures, demos, exercises, and if you need individual help, I can use GoToMeeting, Zoom, I can talk to you on the phone, whatever you need to make this a little bit easier if you're a little nervous about doing an online course for the first time if you haven't done that. And if you're not familiar with MyWarren or LMS, here's a quick overview coming up.
All right, I'm back on my computer, and when you need to get to MyWarren, you're going to click on this link here. It should be easy to find, and it'll open up in a separate tab. Here I have it open already. If you're not sure of your username or your password for MyWarren, just check here. It'll tell you everything you need to know. It's different than your network or your email username and password that you would typically use, so make sure you check this out down here if you're not familiar with it. If you are, that's fine. And then you're going to log in. And when you come here, there'll be all this information here that you could read or not read. Make sure you find your course. I'm going to go find 103 W1. Here it is. And also for W2, anybody in that section as well. Again, I'm doing this for both sections. And I'll put it in student view so it looks more like what you'll see. Now, right now, I don't have everything populated. There's a couple announcements here. There's one about technology needs. So if you're interested in the CARES Act, you need a computer, you need internet access, something like that, make sure you click on here. There's a link in here. And also, when I post these announcements, make sure you click on read more, because there's a whole bunch of stuff here to read. And I know you might just look at it and go, oh God, I don't feel like reading all this. But make sure you read it. It's part of what you're doing as an online class, so it's all important stuff here. I wouldn't post it if it wasn't important, so make sure you read this stuff before you move on so that you're not sending me emails saying, where's this at? Where's your playlist at? And all that. Everything will be here. Sometimes I'll have links in here. So this is the first announcement, and this will obviously be updated because there's some things I still have to put in MyWarren. But again, make sure that you check out this stuff. This is all under your announcements, and I'll also send an email with this stuff too. I haven't yet because the semester didn't start. Whenever I post an announcement, I'll also try to send an email. So in case you don't check your announcements, at least you'll check your email. So whatever email you have in your MyWarren, you'll be able to do that. And by the way, if you ever need to change your email in MyWarren, I think you could do that going through your profile up here. But if you go into personal info, communication preferences, you should be able to change your email. It might take a day or so, but I just wanted to point that out as well if you ever need to change that. So anyway, getting back to MyWarren here, announcements, you know what that is, so make sure you check them. Course information, it's just a picture of me. It'll have office hours there when I figure out when I'm going to do them. It's not a big deal. I'll always be available for you, so it's online, so don't worry about it too much. But if there's time you need to specifically meet with me and have a Zoom meeting or GoToMeeting or whatever, I'll have hours in there that you could do that. Syllabus, I don't have the syllabus posted yet because I'm still putting some documents in there, but you'll see a syllabus here and also the stuff for Cengage where you can get the textbook or where you can link to the textbook. There'll be a course key that'll be in this area here. So by another day or two, by the 6th of September, this should be populated. So you'll see the syllabus and you'll see stuff about your Cengage textbook in there. And again, don't stress out about the textbook yet and start doing all the MindTap exercises. You don't have to do that yet. Just go log into the Cengage, get the textbook, and we'll do some reading in there. I have PowerPoints and stuff like that go through that stuff. Anyway, that's the syllabus section. Coursework will be one of our more important sections. Now, all I have in here is the dates right now, but when you go in here, you're going to click View, and you're going to see a bunch of assignments here, and then you're going to click on the assignment, and there may be some instructions. Some instructions may be under Documents and Resources because they're going to be PDF files. But that's where you're going to go for your assignments, and a lot of times you're going to turn them in through here, and I'll go through that when it's time to do that, so don't worry about that now. Discussion board, we are going to use that for attendance, so you're going to do a student introduction for the first week, then there'll be discussions each week after that, so going up to the 15 weeks. So I'll have topics in there that we'll have discussed in class and things like that, so we'll have to do that. But remember, it counts as attendance, so don't just skip over these and be like, it's only 10 points. Make sure you do those. So that's discussion board. Documents documents and resources, there's two parts to this. There's handouts. I don't know if you can always see this, but there's handouts and there's bookmarks. Handouts are things like PDF files and Word docs and stuff. Notes I'll put in handouts. Now, bookmarks will be like links to websites. There'll be links to software websites that we're going to use. Some of the reading and exercises may be at different websites as well. So bookmarks are links, handouts are like PDF files. And I'll usually have your notes in handouts. And I'll show you a previous class in just a minute just to show you what that looks like. Anyway, your gradebook. There's nothing in your gradebook right now. Keep in mind that sometimes the assignments will not close. I'll keep them open because people didn't turn them in yet. If you don't do them, eventually they're going to be a 0, and that doesn't count towards the gradebook. So if something hasn't closed yet, you might think, oh, I have an A average, but it's only because you returned your email and you didn't do any other assignments. But once they close, you'll get a 0. So just keep in mind if there's things you haven't done and the assignment hasn't closed out yet, or you don't have a 0, it's eventually going to be a 0. I didn't just skip over it. Sometimes people think, oh, I have a B. And it's like, well, you only did 2 assignments all semester, and that's because some of them were left open so students can finish them. So just be aware of that make sure you check on things and make sure they closed out when you check your grade. And unfortunately, people only do that at the end of the semester, the final week, and they're like, I didn't do these 12 assignments, and I thought I had a B. So don't be like that. Just do your assignments. Attendance, I don't have to worry about attendance because that's going to be taken care of through discussion board. And that's about it. Now, let me just show you one thing with documents and resources from a previous class that may help you a little bit. By the way, one thing just to note that's here so far, etiquette statement, it's a PDF file. So when you click on this, it opens up in a separate tab as a PDF. You could read the etiquette statement. That's internet etiquette. And also finding your way through e-learning screenshot tutorial. You don't need that because if you're watching this video, you don't probably need to read that. So you should be okay. Now let me just show you one thing real quick. All right, this is documents and resources from last spring. And remember, you can view it like this with all the items like that. And I think by default, it usually shows up in little boxes like this, but these are handouts. And here's Unit 1, Intro to Digital Data. And you can see there's a PDF file. So there's a PDF file to click on. Here's instructions for assignments. They're PDF files. So you click on them and there's your notes. So you have your notes here for different things that we're going to do. So that's what I mean by handouts. So those are the kind of things that'll be in handouts. There's Unit 1, Intro to Digital Data, Unit 2, Digital Data. You can see there's all these instructions for PDF files and stuff like that. I'll put my notes in here in documents and resources under handouts just so you know where to get them, because sometimes they get a little buried when they're in with coursework. So that's handouts. And then when you go to bookmarks, I'll just go here and click on bookmarks. You'll see some of the things that are under bookmarks. These will be, here's some pictures that we used pics for some exercises that we worked on. Here's Photopea. It's software, web-based software that we use to edit photos, all different PowerPoints I'll have as websites, all kinds of different things. All my websites will be up here, my playlists for YouTube and stuff like that. So all that stuff will be under bookmarks. So bookmarks is for websites, handouts is for more PDF type files, something that you could actually print out if you needed to. So that was from last semester. And that's all I think you need to know. We'll certainly go over this as each assignment comes up. I'll talk you through this and I'll say, hey, go here to coursework, click on this and then submit it, and I'll do all that. So you shouldn't have any problem. But if you're new to MyWarren, just check it out. Hopefully this helps you a little bit about where this stuff is and where to find stuff. And again, the most important thing is read your announcements, because I try to give as much instructions as I can in there when we do that. So, and if you have any questions, just email me so you can find things out. So that's our little intro to MyWarren for CSC 103, W1, and W2.